Join us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the live stream, everyone. We got Sunday Slot Cars in the house. We got Home Racing World in the house. Marty's a bit late, so we got a placeholder for Marty. He'll show up. We got George from Area 51 and myself.
George.
And the chat is pretty busy, so let's say hi. We have Gene. Hey, Gene. We have Slaughter. Hey, Dave. How are you? But before we get started, so Sunday Slot Cars has an announcement. You know what? We'll let everyone gather in a bit, so we'll just wait about 5-10 minutes, and then you can make your announcement. This is,
That sounds good.
Let the chat. So how's things going, Billy? Everything good?
Busy, really busy.
You've done a lot of whatnot streams, right?
Oh yeah. They're really pushing slot cars hard.
Yeah.
So it's been crazy.
Yeah. Hey, Dave. How are you? Shotgun Dave's in the house. So, Billy, I know we don't have a lot of time today because you have to rush off for your stream tonight. But, just let us know about Whatnot. Like, I know you wanted to talk about it. So, take the floor, talk about it a bit, and then, yeah, we'll make your announcement.
And then I got to run. Yeah, sounds good. Thanks for having me on the stream, by the way. I appreciate it.
And anytime,
look, guys,
anytime.
People say like the slot cars aren't being pushed enough, they're not being advertised enough, whatnot. They're known for selling cards and stuff like baseball cards, hockey cards, Pokemon cards, stuff like that, right? They want to get into slot cars. They want to get into that market. And so I'd love for people to support them by joining Whatnot. And you could tune into my streams. We're doing Monday to Friday, 8 Eastern. And that's just a good thing to join. Oh, sorry, was that volume?
Hold on.
Whatnot. So
yeah, sorry about
that's what I would go for. We got to show the companies that slot cars are profitable. Like we have to show them that they're popular.
Right.
And we've had a lot of people join. Thank you for joining us. For joining. But like I said, just download WhatsApp. You don't even have to buy anything. Just try it. Just watch our stream. I'm sure they'd appreciate that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Yeah. And I do have crazy good discounts going on right now too. So yeah, like he was saying, I gotta run. I got a pile of stuff that I actually have to put up on my living room now. But I hope to see you guys there. Like I said, the app is WhatsApp. Just go into your app store, whether it's your Android app or your Apple app. You can even watch it on the computer too. If you have a computer, you can do it on the browser. So that's what I do a lot of the time. Just look it up on my browser, and it's really cool. So I hope you guys see you there. I gotta go.
All right, take care, buddy.
Have a good stream.
Same to you. All right. Let's see. Wait on Marty. Marty's not around yet. Marty abandoned us. What happened?
Camera trying to chat.
Yeah.
Is that Marty?
Yeah, he's having problems with his camera.
Oh.
He's gonna reboot. He said.
Okay, no
He
worries.
said roll with
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no worries. We'll roll on. There's always something. Live streams are so much fun. But anyway, let's switch this one to Harry. All right, so everyone, we have Home Racing World in the house once again. It's a great privilege to have Harry in the house. We have George as well, and then so I always start by letting everyone talk about their week. So George, take it away. George, you have a really exciting project going on, so take it away.
Yes, he does.
Let us know about your week so far.
Had a birthday party and I bought 2 of these from actually Sunday Slot Car. And they're actually these things, believe it or not, are challenging to drive for kids because it has a magnet, but these tires are really like slippery. So it's almost like it's a non-magnet car, and actually been teaching them how to drive them. And they've been learning. Kind of a good learning tool. I'm going to get some better tires for them, but and then I'm building the track. I started, I posted a small short video on, getting the materials, and I just did the frame and ran short on some screws that I need for the joist connectors for the center. So I'll have to wait till tomorrow. But I could frame the other one up and put them together. But that's all I'm doing right now. So.
Oh, cool. So why were you inspired to build this wood track? Oh, I know you always wanted to build a wood track. Why now? Like what? Sorry?
It's Harry's fault.
Oh, it's Harry's fault.
When I went
Yeah,
to the home
I
racing world,
accept full
yeah,
responsibility.
his track was really, really something. It was a wonder. I really like the oval. I like how my cars performed on the oval because I never really seen them perform, firsthand besides sending them in. And when I checked all my cars that I brought, they ran fantastic. Not that they don't run fantastic on Area 51, but they're meant for the oval wood track. So that's why I'm dedicating myself to do that and then be able to have two types of things to deal with, just regular cars and from manufacturers and as well as scratch bone, which that's the thing that I really want more out of it. Oh, yep,
Excellent.
Dave.
Yeah, everyone's blaming you, Harry. Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. I accept full responsibility. It's track building is a lot of fun. So whether it's plastic or wood, it's fun. So it's
Right.
just a different part of the hobby. You know,
Yeah.
it's just a lot of fun. Just decide what you want. Make sure it's not as easy to change that design, but if you get one that you like and it's fun, you stick with it for a couple of years and recreate it in wood. You'll love it.
100%.
That's what we do.
So, Harry, how was your week?
Oh, it was great. Just staying busy. Got this car in from George. This is for the upcoming proxy, the Mark Thomas, the classic NASCAR racing proxy, where we're building brass chassis and putting them underneath these beautiful bodies from Carrera and Monogram. And had a chance to do some testing last Thursday. This came out pretty good, George. Like I said, it's super quiet. It's got some sort of alien tech in this thing, man. You can't hear it, you know. Got this one in from Frank Sisto. He's made his. It's a nice running car. It's really interesting. That's the fun part, really, about this type of proxy, this type of series is seeing the variety of chassis, the approaches that people take to building a chassis, what they're going to do, how their design. So, and then I've been building my second or third one. I lost track here with mine right there. Just kind of have mine on the design board here now, and we'll see how it runs. I'm optimistic, but I'm always optimistic until I pull the trigger, and then it's slow. But that's all right. We'll fix it. And I just got these in. Everybody's seen the ThunderSlots. That's been out. The Mustangs, quite a lot of talk about them, and so I've got these in. Going to take a closer look at them, see how they go. I mean, I can tell you they need a little bit of work before you throw them on a track. At least mine do. But that's okay. And they're not to scale. That's okay too. But I think they're a pretty important release for the hobby as a whole. So I look forward to playing with them. That's why I got more of them.
Oh,
So
good.
It'll be a
That's
lot of
good.
fun. Be a lot of fun. Other than that, just trying to keep up with you guys, man. Watching what you guys are doing, and
I'm not.
yeah,
I'm
you
not
guys,
doing anything.
you guys are staying busy. You're staying busy, and George working all day. I mean, I thought he was going to have the tables completed and routed today. For heaven's sake, gosh, man, you're going fast. I'm like, man, took me forever to get mine done.
Yeah, well, I think George once he gets his mind on something, it's done. It has to go
Oh,
up
I
real
know.
fast.
Yeah, it's just like wham, and he's ready. You know, he's like, oh my gosh. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I've been doing some tuning with some other cars, trying the on the Pala cars. I don't know if you guys know, but this is just different compounds of tires, right?
Right.
That I like to try. It isn't necessarily one is better than the other for me. It's a question of just testing to see um, what tire is going to give me the the performance I'm looking for, or I just want to see if a tire is worth recommending um, for wood track applications. And you know, some compounds are just better than others, so I'm just trying just some different ones. I know George will. We talked about the Polycar Ferrari, and basically we left it stock. Um, the, the stock rubber on this car is actually really good, and I took it to MT Racing to his wood track, and these tires just cleaned up a little bit. Um, they performed really well. So right now, I still have the original Polycars, but Um, I'm gonna try this other compound, the G25, and we're gonna see what road that takes us to. So that's just me. I test all kinds of crazy things. It runs okay, but then I just want to play and experiment with others. So that's just how it goes.
So, so Harry, like, give us a little bit of history. You know how you got into slot cars. Um, what keeps you motivated about them, etc.
Oh well, like a lot of people, it's just from my youth, a little HO set, having a little bit of fun, and then from there, just the larger scale I was exposed to, and I was just fascinated with the cars in miniature, the realism of the cars, so to speak. Um, it was, you know, modeling, taking model kits and making slot cars out of them, you know, and I really liked, I really liked that, and then I would say the late '90s and stuff. I was into the computer scene, the computers, the old bulletin board systems, things of that nature, and then the internet, of course. And I just wanted to write and photograph and talk about the hobby, which seemed a lot of people didn't know about this scale, 1/32 scale, the larger scale, and the Euro scale, as they called it then. So I just got into that. I was just fascinated by the variety of cars, the difference of cars, and here I am, still doing it. The you know, brand new cars just like this. You know, just it's just fascinating to see the different approaches, and every time a new slot car comes out, it's like I can't wait to run it just to see how it runs.
Yeah.
And but cars are one thing. The people, all the friends that I've made, you know, over the years, that's what makes this hobby the most fun is getting together with some folks and just and having at it on the track and having a few laughs and maybe eating a burger or two. You know, just I don't know. I'll keep doing it until it isn't any fun, but it's always going to be fun if you make it that way. So, yeah, just I've been doing it for a couple of weeks now. I guess I've been looking back. Wow, as long as I can remember.
And there we
So,
go. Marty has just joined
yeah.
us.
All
The
right,
the gang is
cool.
back together.
There he is. Yeah. All right.
Sorry, guys.
No worries, no worries. Yeah, we're just talking to Harry, talking about the history. um, Harry, you're known in my world as you do great slot car reviews, but also you promote a lot of scratch building. So, um,
Yeah. Right.
talk to us about, like, I know you have a couple events coming up, and then what I'm really interested in is how you structure, like, your bills, how you structure your classes, that kind of information.
Okay. Yeah, we have. I'll go get one of the cars here. One of the things that we do a lot is the Showdown Series that we came up with. These cars are they're scratch built, 1/32 scale, and they're more dedicated to the oval racing, theme from the early days, the 70s, the 80s, stuff that are, and the modern as well, but and the modified series here too. It's based on that type of oval racing. I used to race when I was a young man. Raced on a dirt oval. There were dirt ovals all across the country, and I know some people grew up with, Riverside Raceway, that type of thing in their backyard. But around where I grew up, it was all dirt oval racing. So the American oval scene is what I wanted to base the Showdown on. Are those type of cars, and so that's what this is all based on. And this is all scratch building. These are resin bodies and brass and wire chassis that we use. It's a lot of modeling involved, but it's fun at the same time. And you can't buy them. The European manufacturers, they're just not going to make these cars.
Right.
It's not going to happen. These are Saturday night specials that really, you can model them after a car you remember, but they're never going to make these. So we just had to make them ourselves. So companies like Soccer Corner, CB Design, they came out with wheels, stuff that in the sizes that we needed for to make the prototype cars, to make them look as real as we can, to keep the realism there. And in the 132 series, we have the modifieds, which are the ones without the fenders. They kind of show the engine, the modified series. And then we have what's called the sportsman. Some people call them bombers. And that's the full bodied cars like that. Now, this is in 1/32 scale. Now we've started doing a little bit with the 1/25 scale. 1/25 scale cars. I'm still working on this one. I haven't finished it yet, obviously, but the beach racer type cars, vintage NASCAR, and again, just stretch built chassis. And we base it. I try to base everything on a single motor. A single motor, and a spec tire will keep a lot of the racing very close. The Paul gauge tires work great on our oval. They provide enough grip. They're forgiving. They're easy to sand. And then we match it with, well, for example, the Predator 25 is what we're using now. And then in these cars, we use the Piranha motor. We've been using it for several years. Where do I get the body molds from? A lot of the molds we make ourselves. We do it ourselves. Or, you can take cars like, for example, you can get these Carrera cars. You can still get them fairly inexpensive. I know that Great Traditions or whatever, they had these things loose with no polarity switch or anything for like, what, $29? And you can do this to it. You can strip it, repaint it, and make a Saturday night special out of it. There's other eBay sources, molds out there, but there's a lot of guys 3D printing, So there's plenty of resin bodies out there. Just check eBay and you'll find a bunch of them. Mark Thomas makes some. Yeah, yeah. Mark makes some. Uh, it's
Mark
there's
Thomas
just a
is
wide
in the
variety.
house.
Yeah. Okay. So, but that's what we do, and I host every 6 months. I do a winter event and a summer event, and it's primarily the scratch building. And I guess the motivation for this is that we can't we just can't buy these ready to run.
Right.
It's my favorite type of racing is the Saturday night oval track racing that I grew up with, and you just can't buy those. The only way you're going to be able to recreate those memories is to build it yourself. So that's the motivation behind it.
Yeah, it's
It's
pretty.
just a very rewarding part of the hobby.
Yeah, I think when you start to look at scratch building as a way to open up your collection, it really changes perspective, right? Because we go
Oh yeah,
like it's funny today, like yeah, everyone's talking about the shadow and the release, right? But
right.
if you're a scratch builder, you could have had that long time ago, I guess. I mean, it's very interesting, but it's also intimidating, I think, or um, to some people, it's a different step up in the hobby, I guess. So yeah, it's very cool to see a lot of scratch builders and what they're doing. So yeah, I appreciate it.
The common one
Yeah,
everybody
it's
really has a problem with. Soldering is always thinking about that. Not doing it.
Yeah,
It's
but
not
George,
hard.
like your soldering video makes soldering look very easy.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He does that, doesn't he? Yeah. Um, it's uh, yeah. George does some great work. These are just cars, different molds. This was based on the SCX Cuda here, um, and I added flares, as you can see,
Yeah,
the flare right here.
yeah,
So I added some flares to the body. Um, I added the front spoiler all molded in, and I just used resin and putty. And then the sides of the car you can see are kind of flattened out,
yeah,
kind of slab sided, because that's what these bodies would have looked like after we ripped them all off and pop riveted some sheet metal on it. And then it would get smashed on race day, and then you'd grind the pop rivets off and put new on there. But so I just made a mold of it, um, just with my own alterations, and that's how you ended up with a body. Mark Thomas has made some beautiful cars, molded some beautiful cars, and anybody that's really interested in joining in, then they'll contact him and or myself, and we'll do what we can to make sure they get a body. If they want to really join the race. This is some other stuff from other vendors over the years that they've created, and so it's just another part of our part of our hobby. Is the building part, and. Oh, and soldering. Well, you don't always have to solder. You can use in the larger scale, 1/25th scale. You can use the H&R chassis. You know, um, that chassis was designed and built um, for model kits. And, I should have one here somewhere. I'll go get it.
yeah. I also last week we were talking to Boone. Oh, first of all, I apologize to everyone. Last week I lost my internet, so we never got to finish our discussion on airbrushing. But that was no fault of mine. I apologize. But hopefully today we are good so far. But one thing I wanted to talk about, like last week when I was talking to Boone, he showed me Slotted actually has an adjustable chassis in plastic that you can use to put plastic kits on top of. I wasn't aware of that. So that was something that caught my attention as well. So interesting. And then
Quite a few companies.
I was watching the guys from Germany. They're taking mini Z cars and putting their own chassis on them as well. They're 1/28 scale. So it's also another interest because I have a lot of mini Z cars as well. So
Speaking of airbrushing, this has got to be this. I think I did this 11 years ago. This is the last car I airbrushed. I use a lot of rattle cans for a lot of stuff, but this color here was just something I couldn't buy off the shelf, so I mixed it, the airbrush, and well, it's a pretty old warrior, as you can see. It's seen its day.
It's a hammer. It's a hammer.
Yeah. Yep, there's the chassis I built for it, but this is the scratch built, the chassis, but I have a lot of cars that 1/25th scale is the H&R chassis. Okay. And you don't have to solder, you're setting your wheel adjustments with your bushings. Right here, these two screws here, the front part here is adjustable, so you can match the wheelbase to whatever model kit you're looking for. Build a bounce system, but if you don't know how to solder, if you're not comfortable with doing that, aside from some motor lead wires or whatever, then the brass chassis department, H&R, is just a great option for those that don't want to try building your own, and that's fine. I understand it can be somewhat a challenge for some people. So yeah, that's why they make these, so that we can get a slot car together in an afternoon, and that's cool.
That is awesome.
Yeah. What is always look forward to Monday? Oh yeah. So the chassis or the HRS chassis. Yeah, that's isn't that that's the slotted one, right? HRS2, something like that, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not too sure. I haven't done enough research on it. It was just something that he brought up. But right. You've been working on the ThunderSlot Mustang, right? I know Marty has been.
I just got him in today, so we'll see how it goes. So far it looks nice. I think that the person who's in charge of painting the driver helmets need a new job or a new pair of glasses. They don't look very good. But that's okay. We can fix that. They not very well executed as far as but that's nitpicking. See, that's just me. I nitpick about little things. It's well, like this, like for example, if you can see that the axle is turning, but the gear is not.
Right.
And that's because these cars like this, Rebel Slot, NSR, whatever, these cars are made for the more, I guess, veteran or advanced enthusiasts. These are purpose-built race cars. And these cars with set screws and stuff like that, you're simply going to have to, you should go through them before you put power to them. And this is a good reason why right here, because that gear is obviously not tightened up. So I'm going to have to go through and tighten it up. But if you were to put this on a track and pull the trigger, you'd be disappointed rather quickly.
Yeah.
Hey, it's not moving, but that's okay. I think the design is interesting. It looks like little hints of the flexi car commercial design. But like we said, the scale issues, we've known about that for months. They're not trying to pretend that it's a fine scale detail. It's more of a pro resto mod type look to me. I think George has got his coming in too. I think he.
Yes.
But I'm not unhappy seeing the cars. I think this is just one more option in our hobby. So I'll be putting power to them later tonight and tomorrow and doing my little video report. But I think they'll be okay. I don't know. This is the green one as well, in case anybody wanted to see it. But everybody's already seen all the reports. Marty did a really good one too. So
Marty has that one. Marty's really happy about his Mustang, right, Marty?
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
Marty,
He did a great job.
Marty, I can't hear you.
I think all our mics are having an issue, even mine.
Really?
There we go.
Oh.
You got me now.
Yeah, we got you now.
There you go.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see Harry's video on the Mustang because usually the first thing I do when I buy a car is I go search through his video library to see if he's already tuned it.
Me too.
And get some pointers. So I appreciate that, Harry.
Yeah, I'm a little late I'm a little late. Sometimes I get behind on stuff, and I'm like, you know what? If I want to review these cars, you kind of got to order them. So I'm a few days behind the power curve, but that's okay. And I've already talked to George about this, but so I've got the three of them because my road course is 3 lanes, so kind of an IROC Mustang thing going on. I wanted to have three versions of the cars for my 3-lane track, 3 different colors. I couldn't get red, white, and blue, so I got as close as I could get.
So Slot R has asked the question that I was dying to ask. Are they going to put any Mopar bodies on that chassis? Because, hey, I'm a Mopar guy, so where's my Mopar stuff?
Well, I'll tell you what I think, okay? And take this with a grain of salt. If you notice right here and here, this part of the chassis, on this particular car, it goes to nowhere, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't go anywhere. It's there. So you have to ask yourself, well, why? Why is it there? It looks like another mount, doesn't it? Or possibly an adjustment. So I would have to guess that because this are 2 separate components, that I would have to say that this part here in your center, okay, your pod assembly, is going to be universal, and other bodies are going to be designed to fit on this particular piece, and that these side panels will be specific to the car, as in it says GT350. So this reminds me, and it should remind you guys a lot of the Rebel Slot approach, right? Where you have some basic components. So if I had to guess, of course, there's going to be a Chevrolet. There's a good chance for a Mopar. I would imagine that they are going to maximize the use of this chassis system as much as possible. So I don't know the specifics of what cars that could be in production or planned. I know that Dave Kennedy, he might allude to that, but they're kind of hush-hush with that. They're not going to announce anything until you wake up and you see it announced on Facebook sometimes. So I would imagine that's exactly what this part is for. So it would make sense. I mean, we have to see a Camaro at least. I mean, you have to have Ford versus Chevy.
Wow.
That's right.
But
You have
I'd
to have
love to see it.
the Mustang's got to be able to race something.
Yes, yes.
Right. I mean,
I need something to go up against Marty's Ford here.
What Dodge? But what Mopar? That's the good question. I'll ask the question back to you guys. What Mopar do you think should go with this? Is it the
70s
Cuda?
Charger. 70s Charger.
Yeah.
Mine is 70s
70.
Charger.
The Charger? Okay.
Yeah, the 70s Charger. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, could be the Cuda, could be the Challenger, you know? I mean, I'm looking
Right.
at this. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I also see AMC here.
Javelin?
easily
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Javelin.
Javelin.
100%. Yeah.
Those are the Trans Am cars.
I could
yeah,
definitely
Javelin.
see that.
Yeah, Javelin will
And
be
it would be
hot.
a really popular car too.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's
Especially if they
Yeah.
interesting.
especially if they slam
Yeah,
it.
I definitely.
Yeah.
Well, they could create a whole
Yeah,
Trans Am
it's,
series out of this car too.
Yeah.
Well, sure. Yeah, I you know, when we talk about the liberties in scale making the car, we understand ThunderSlot and their direction, their intention, making this car with obvious scale liberties. But you know, they're not the only one guilty of doing that. So
Right.
we'll have to see. But I see I see this mold, the tooling. That is where the money is, as any of the guys will tell you. The tooling for this stuff is just very, very expensive. Jules at Pioneer, that has led to a lot of his drinking, is the cost of some of the tooling to get these cars made. And you're going to want to make as many as you can to maximize the tooling. So like I said, I'm just guessing, but I'll bet you we will see this section underneath different cars in the future.
Yeah, so I think the chat's spoken. It's the Cuda that needs to come out.
Yeah,
Everyone in the
definitely.
chat is Cuda.
That'd be good.
Definitely.
Yeah. And
I
then
mean, imagine the Cuda. Imagine that on here. I mean, that would be just like in the street colors or the retro mod look like this. I mean, I can see it.
yeah,
I could
We
easily see
need
that.
more.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
Definitely need more American iron. That's what's not lacking.
Well, yeah, sure. Yeah,
I don't think it's just
Yeah, that would
American
be-
iron. I think it's good American iron. Like, you know, not the Scalactric and not the Carrera, which is top heavy. You know, we need something that's performance based. Like the ThunderSlot is performance based, right?
Right.
So I think
That's
having
I
a
was getting ready
good
to say the same
performance
thing.
based American muscle car is going to be so big for us.
Well, remember,
I mean,
we gotta
I've only-
remember also the Thunderbird,
Go ahead, George.
the Super, and all those. Sorry about that, Marty. The Superbird and all those Carrera cars are because of Harry. If he wasn't involved in that, we would not have those cars. And those are the oldest running molds Carrera makes. That's why
Yeah.
we get a lot of those. They're beautiful cars.
Oh yeah. This was the first project I was ever involved with a company. Not like directly, but when these started, I couldn't believe what they were. I mean, this was just a lot of fun, very interesting. Real quick before I forget,
What year?
I'll throw this one out. I'll throw this one at you guys.
That's a great one.
Cougar.
I would
Mercury.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those two.
I would
Oh,
love
yeah.
to see this iconic car that raced so much. I would love to see this on a chassis like this, not the four-wheel drive truck chassis that Scalactric put it on. I would like to see it with a performance-based chassis, I can see this happening.
Yeah, for sure.
If I were ThunderSlot, I would take a hard look at the Cougar, but I could easily see it being adapted. This is just one of the body styles that from that era that I've always liked, and the fact that they raced them, it's kind of like these cars here from back in the '60s in NASCAR. I mean, for the love of God, no one should have raced these boats. These things were massive, but they did, right? They raced them, you know, and
Right.
that's like, you know, I mean, you could fit my neighbor's SUV in this trunk. These things were huge, and they raced them. And
Hide all the guys in
when you look at this car, the Mercury or whatever, the way it was set up, the suspension, I mean, this was one of the last cars you would think anybody would want to race, but they did, you know. And some really cool history with this car. It just needs a chassis, not the one that it came with.
Yeah.
It needs a good one. So
Yeah,
this would
there's
be
a
a
lot
good
of
candidate.
bodies. I mean, Skull-Electric does a really good job with bodies for the Camaros. Right. But yeah, we need some performance chassis to go with it. Marty, you're loving your ThunderSlot Mustang, aren't you?
I am, and that's what I was getting ready to say, and George kind of mentioned it. Well, I've had my hands on a handful of ThunderSlot cars, and the one thing that they all are is very fast and very smooth. And I couldn't imagine them building a car that was not going to be that. You know what I mean? They were not going to put a
Right.
Mustang out there and it not be fast, and it not be smooth, not be typical ThunderSlot, what we expect. So that's the exciting part to this platform. This chassis platform is there is an unlimited possibilities of what they can throw.
Oh,
I mean, ThunderSlot seems to like those older cars. They don't really do new cars, but they could open up and do a new Challenger or a new Camaro body style if they ever wanted to. But I like the fact that they go back to the 60s cars. I think that's a great choice for them.
Yeah, the Ford versus Chevy. I mean, the Camaro. I like the 70, 71 body style, right?
Yep.
I can see that. I can see that all day long right here.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, look at that wheelbase.
And they're fun on the track.
Oh yeah. And I know that some people have asked the question, hey John, here he is. And as far as what are you going to run this with? And the answer to that is this. That's my answer, because
That's right.
Even if you rebuild this, which I have, I mean, slotted gears, everything, it's not this. It isn't going to have the pod tech. It's not going to have the it's just not. It's not going to do what this does. So as of right now, that my answer is this. But some people were talking about bringing this into their existing Trans Am class, the Skull-Electric class. I'm like, well, you can if all you want is everyone running this car.
Yeah.
Because that's what's going to happen.
That's exactly what will happen.
I mean, I would say that this is the slot car equivalent of bringing a knife to a gunfight. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you're going to race
That's right.
classic cars like this, don't bring this and expect it to run with it, except where you're on a plastic track with magnets then everything changes, doesn't it? Because this has the bar magnet.
Yeah.
This doesn't. This wasn't made for that track. And I've said it, and you guys have said it in your reviews, and your thing is you have to give your opinions, or to be objective. What were they made for? Where are they made to be? Well, this is made to be on a plastic track with the magnet in place. And if it doesn't run very good
That's
without it, well, I really just need to shut up, because that's not what it was made for. This is made for advanced track systems. Wood, non-magnet racing.
And and that's where American muscle is really lacking, right? Because there's a lot of bodies out there. Carrera makes a lot of bodies. Collectric makes a lot of bodies. It's just not at a level where you can take them and perform with them, right? You have to do so much to get them to get.
Right.
I mean, if you took an NSR out of the box and put it next to Collectric, like, you're blown out of water, right? Like, it's just even you have to put so much in to get anything out of that car, and even then, I mean, just the weight on a Carrera body is just insane right now. I don't know, the last BMW M4 that I weighed was 126 grams. That's a heavy stock car, right? So.
Oh yeah,
that is it's a heavy car.
I mean, this was a perfect car to do Carrera, because pig is the word, right? I mean,
it's made an appearance.
I'm firmly convinced there was a contest in Germany to see how heavy you could make an interior tray, and Carrera won. This thing, let's see what we have here. I'm stacking up cars here.
The pig is back on the main stage, boys.
Love it or hate it. Slaughter.
I want to hate it. It looks good.
42.7.
42.7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just the body.
Yeah. Yeah, just the body. I think the headlights are like 40 grams of that. Look at those things, man. But that's the way the car looked, Yeah. Just, what a tank, huh?
Yeah, but let's be honest. I don't think anyone's buying this car to race it anywhere. They're buying it because of nostalgia. No. It's I bought that because my grandfather had a similar car. It's meant to be bought and put on a shelf somewhere. That's where mine ends up.
And for the record, I make fun of it for the record, but I got the other one because because of the history of the cars. I'm gonna make them run. I'm getting there. I just haven't finished. It's one of those projects I haven't finished yet. It's still a work in progress, but we're getting somewhere. I have to see. This is a 1/25th scale body. Yeah, it's only 40.9, and this is a tuna boat. I mean, look at that thing. And it's still like 4 grams lighter than the. That's okay. It's just one of those things. Like this car out of the box.
80. 72.
72 and a half. That's not bad. That's not too bad.
Yeah.
See, that's got little. Let's see what George's Superbird comes in. 147. Wow.
Is that typical of a scratch build, though?
No,
some of them are, yes. That's 130. But one thing that most of you and you guys already know is that weight, properly placed weight, is a good thing. Okay.
Right.
As George and I have joked around, some of these guys, you know, they're like, yeah, I sanded the inside of the body and I made it a whole gram lighter. That's not going to win you anything on race day. Where is the weight? Is it up high or is it down low? So
Yeah.
properly placed lead like this is going to make the car react and be, you know, drivable. That's the speed secret, is where are you going to put this? You know, don't put it on the roof like Skeletric does. Put it down here.
Yeah.
And that's the secret. So yeah, look at there, George. Yours is 146, 147, and then Frank Sisto, he just sent his in. I picked it up today, and it is 130. Let's see here.
You already have Marty Robbins sent out.
And then this is
Marty,
one that I did,
more,
the Revell monogram, and
that's a fast car.
126.
That car hauls ass, man. That car hauls ass.
It looks good, man. It's a Ford.
It flies.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great car. This is it's a shame about Revell Monogram not making these anymore. I wish we could get them back, but they were great cars. You just, everything below the body screws you had to replace, and then you had a nice car. You know, so but yeah, it's
is that
I would
132nd?
say that weight is around average for a good for a scratch built car. This is 1/25th scale chassis, so 117. That's just the chassis. So the body was 40 grams, so just about that size. Yeah. Yeah, this beast right here. Let's see what this. Yeah, 178. Man, this car hasn't missed any meals, has it? Woo!
That car is a fun car too. I've driven some of the cars over there. They're fun.
Oh yeah, they're all fun. Just don't expect them to perform like, you know, a slotted. Going back to what you were saying about the chassis design, you know, the Rebel slots are some of my favorite cars in the last few years. And as we like to say, this is not your dad's Fly Viper, okay? This one will run. And the design here with the pod system, the adjustable, you know, the motor, the bulkhead uprights where they're anodized in different colors to give you the heights and the sizes and everything. They've really put a lot of work into this system, and hats off to them. It does the job, right? Yeah. And
it's one of my favorite
even
cars.
Anodized, 100 grams, but where is that? Where is most of that? It's down low, right?
Yep.
It's where the weight is where it should be, and that's why these things they just haul the mail. Anybody with them knows that. And so the entry fee is a little bit more, but it's well worth it. That's another thing. Somebody asked about these cars like the Rebel slot and this and the slotted. Just remember that they cost more and everything, but with these cars you get a complete line of spares. You don't get spares with Carrera and Skeletric. Okay? If they break, you better hope that some slotted parts fit it. That's all I'm saying.
So Harry, have you reviewed any of the Scale Auto R chassis?
I had one. Yes, I gave it to a friend of mine as a gift. The R chassis scale auto. I had the Vet C7R,
Yeah,
and it very impressive chassis, very
yeah,
impressive car.
yeah. This is it's one of the chassis
Runs
that
really well.
I'm really
You have it?
yeah, I have a couple of them actually. It's a
Okay.
chassis that I'm really excited about. I really like it. The plastic is super
Yeah.
thin. For some reason, it's super
Yes.
thin, super flexible. The car almost looks like it's planted on the track. It's a very interesting
Yeah.
chassis.
Do you like uh, the way that they molded in the reinforcements, the high ribs, the ribs going through there for reinforcement? That's pretty precise. I was impressed with that.
Yeah, like I said, like the chassis is because I think this is one of the newer plastic chassis to be released. So it's got I find it
Yes.
a little bit it has a lot more tech in it than meets the eye sometimes. So it's really like right now I'm having a lot of fun. I just pulled out the GTS Viper, and then I also have when I ran the Porsche 911, it was an amazing ride on the Carrera track as well. So yeah, it's one of my new favorite chassis right now.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. I was just trying to see what I believe this is the NSR modern. I can never get these. These cases are like vacuum sealed sometimes, and you can't get them open here. No, that's just the NSR. Yeah, I had the C7R. I thought it was a nice car. Yes, the Rebel slots. Hey, John. Yeah, they are awesome. His experience straight out of the box. If Homestead cars were that good, then 90% of the hobby wouldn't put wouldn't put their 3 days after Christmas. Yeah, you got a good point. If the cars are fun, we were talking about that before we went live. You know, if you're having fun, you know, you'll stick with it. If you get frustrated and you're not having any fun with the cars, and that's exactly what happens. You put it up and throw it underneath the bed. You know,
Yeah, and a
or
lot
sell it.
of people are
Yeah,
not going to be like us. That I got my set and I started researching. Most people are not going to research to figure out how to make their cars go better. They just think that that's how it's going to be, and they get frustrated and bail out of the hobby really quick.
exactly. I there's a lot of that happens uh, um, with these sets, and I think that one of the biggest improvements that I've seen, the most major improvement that I've seen, is um, for the fun factor. This isn't it, but Polycar introduced adjustable voltage, right,
Yeah.
to their sets, and to me, that's been a solid gold improvement, because with the parents, the people that I deal with every year, right around Christmas time, they get frustrated. The cars won't stay on the track. Well, they will until you pull the trigger, you know. And the the thing is that um, there's just they have too much voltage. The cars, you're talking about a small track, figure eight or whatever, and the cars are just going light speed. The kids they're just going to fly off. But now that you can turn the volts down, and you can almost hold the trigger all the way, and you can at least see the cars go around the track, So I think that's a good improvement.
Yeah, I agree. That was really smart on Polycar's for them to do
Right.
that, because the one thing I did was I installed a adjustable power supply, and the difference between 14 volts on the track for 1/32 and 12 volts is unbelievable. Like I hardly
Yeah.
ever go out of the slot at 12 volt, and it's still fun to drive.
Right.
So
Sure.
yeah, that was really smart from them.
Yeah, I think that's been one of the, actually AFX in HO scale finally did it as well. It's you know, it was something that's been needed in the hobby. The problem is, you know, these companies, mass merchandising, they bought and paid for 10,000 transformers, and until they've went through every one of them, you're never going to see an improvement. But with Policar,
Right.
with Maurizio going in brand new, he knew exactly what he wanted to do. And, you know, like the set that I reviewed with those little Subarus, you can just turn it down, and then, you know, the kids or anybody can just hold them full blast, and they'll just stay there and go around the track. You know, yeah, tuning a good running car about, yeah, it's always a bonus. Yeah.
So this is Scale Auto. This is the Porsche. It's a 91 grams, and that's the R chassis.
Oh yeah. There you go. That's it right there.
Oh, that looks good.
Yeah.
That's cool.
This is.
It's really nice. You see the flex point there?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see there? Yeah. Isn't that nice?
Like
That
this
is a really nice
chassis
chassis.
is really fun. And like I'm having a lot of fun with this car, and it's planted. It runs really well. And this is I have this one. I have two Porsches. I have the Viper. I have a Di Tommaso Pantera as well. But yeah, this has been really like a joy to drive actually. The only thing is in the Carrera track, I need to change the guide out. So that's something I will do. Yeah.
And you have your pod. You have that loosened up a little bit, do you?
Yeah, it's all floating. This is not tuned. This is brand new out of the box. I have the other one downstairs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Are you keeping the stock rubber, the stock tires on yours?
So like right now, all I'm doing is the problem, Harry, is I got so many cars that I'm running that I test. I don't really get to tune them a lot. The only car that I have a lot of tuning done to is my MR slot car ones, because that's what I run when I go to Scale Auto Center, right?
Right.
So I don't really get to tune a lot of my cars. When I used to race the Carrera cars, every week, I used to do that a lot. I used to tune my cars all the time. But right now, like the only cars I'm really tuning are the MR slot cars. But I will start tuning my Scale Autos.
Yeah. I think that the stock rubber, the rubber compound that comes on those cars, are pretty good. With NSRs and other things, people choose the different compounds. They try different. I'm guilty of that. I do a lot of different testing with different compounds. Will this work? Will that work? It just depends. A lot of times on a lot of the older cars, I just, what Paul gauge will fit it. Urethanes they provide pretty good grip. They're easy to sand. And for Carrera wheels, especially if you didn't already know with the Carrera that they never make the same wheel twice. It's another contest they do. They say, hey, can we make a wheel that there's absolutely no aftermarket tires for? And they will do it, right?
They would.
So it's sometimes hard to get the tires, but a lot of those are all basically dedicated for the plastic wheels and stuff, and they do the job. But I can't help myself. I have a wall full of.
Oh yeah.
It's just ridiculous amount of tires.
That's not what's in the boxes either, by the way.
Yeah, so
it's a good place to
tires,
set up a hobby shop.
Yeah,
Yep.
the tires are
Look at Brad.
a big thing. So I'll test everything. If it fits the wheel. So a urethane, then I'll go to a silicone, then I might go to a stock advanced compound F22, N22, G25 compounds, polycar slotted over to NSR. It's a hot mess, is what it is. But that's just one of the crazy things that I do. Is tires are, as you guys have seen the discussions, tires are a really, really big deal.
Yeah.
Yes, John's right. Tires they're 75%. It's I mean, that's where literally the rubber meets the road. And
I think Gene wants to buy something from you, Harry. He asked if you're running a
Yeah,
store.
do I have a store? Yeah, no, I don't, but I guess I
That is-
could.
that is only
What?
what is in that place. Trust me, it's
Yeah.
lot more stuff.
Yeah, I have.
Crazy.
Yeah, there's
Crazy. That's why when you
well,
have, if you do send your
there's-
car in and you visit, it's worth it.
So
yeah, these are chassis.
I just wanted
You
to
just don't know
Oh,
that
yeah,
they're
wait.
chassis.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Sorry.
See, those
Oh,
are that's
yeah.
a chassis. It just hasn't been built yet. You know.
Nice.
So those are just.
I have a
yeah.
bunch of that too. Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
magically go together, does it?
No, it does not. It's like this. I have a 3D chassis here that'll probably make the Skeletric Mustang run pretty good, but I haven't done it yet. There's just an embarrassing amount of parts here. There's just no cause for this. It's just just a lot of stuff.
Hey
when
Marty,
someone
that's
asks,
what you
well,
gotta
hey,
look
what-
forward to, Marty. You like that,
I
don't
know.
you?
Yeah.
You want a peg
I
wall.
think it's awesome.
You know
rubber on
you
the
know you're
hooks.
in
Yeah,
the
I do.
hobby. You know you're in the hobby serious when you buy a peg wall, right? Just for your hobby stuff. It's like, okay, I need to hang
Yeah,
this up,
yeah.
right? I know,
Yeah, and then
George, you
and
have
then
one in that closet of yours.
Well, and then here, well, you know, it's kind of a mess
Salvatore,
down here. But
That's a great trick.
then when you run out of room on the pegboard, then you get for more tires. So
It's crazy.
you
Oh, that's awesome.
you get your tire sizes, and then yeah, this hasn't been around long. Look, it's a fly Venturian panels. Yeah, that used to be important. They're over here now. But yeah, that's what happens. And then you get more workspace as it goes. There's the pig Project Pig, in its natural state. But I got it running pretty good. I just tore it back apart. But yeah, it's quite a mess down here right now. George knows.
Give the whole
He's helped make it messy. Yeah. There, now it's nice. Yeah, that looks a lot nicer. There we go. We'll keep it like that. You know,
Hey Marty,
that makes me look.
Marty, that basement doesn't look
organized.
big enough, eh?
That's right.
Oh, I don't
Your-
have.
Your
I don't-
basement doesn't
it's
look
not
big enough,
big enough.
Marty.
Yeah. George comes down here, and then what's he do? He has to go buy this gigantic house and make my basement look like nothing. You know, I have serious basement envy now.
Oh.
You know.
That
Just-
place is wonderful. If that's why I told you guys, you need to go there. You need to make a trip there. It is well worth it. And you could go visit Uranus.
That's
That's right. Don't forget the fudge factory here in Missouri. We are
Oh my gosh.
we
That's
are
great.
so proud of this. I got to tell you, wow. Yeah, there's billboards up and down the highway, right?
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
Come see us pack fudge in Uranus. Yeah, it's great. It's wonderful. Yeah. Yep. I'm not making that up. If you Google this, it is in Uranus, Missouri, which is 15 miles from me. It's a big tourist attraction place. Yeah. And that's our claim to fame. That's it. We don't have any other fame. Just Uranus, Missouri. That's it.
So yeah, talking about
I drive
frustration.
through Missouri a couple times a year
Yeah.
on my way to
Yeah.
Colorado to visit my kids.
Welcome to stop by anytime. Have a burger.
Oh
Right.
yeah, you know, one of those. The size of your face. That's how big those burgers are. I got a video of eating one. They're huge.
Yeah,
Slot
well,
burgers.
you're a grown boy. You need to eat good. So, you know, got to make sure you have a decent meal.
Maybe I can drop off my my scratch build that I'm going to build for your summer thing.
Yeah,
The hot
that'd
rod.
be great.
How's that going,
All right.
by the way, Marty?
I've got my solder station all set, ready to go. Now I just need parts.
Oh, good.
I've got a slot car corner shopping cart with like 85 items in it. I'm just waiting for my second mortgage to get approved at the bank.
Yeah. So just talking about Carrera, just for a step back. So I had this article was sent to me. Actually, it was a comment that was put on one of my videos by this gentleman Bo Mamo, and he's from Germany, and he broke down Carrera's problems right now. So if you guys want to take a read, it's on the website. I just thought I'd share that with you guys.
You
About
share the
Carrera
link.
tires.
You can all get it.
I'll get the link. I'll send it up in the chat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the that should be some interesting reading. As what I was showing with the pig here, right?
Yeah. There's a problem. Like right now, Carrera's got a problem because they're producing these two, like the inner and outer diameter on their tires is completely different. Or the rim,
Completely different.
Yeah.
And that's because they're using, this is kind of a snap insert, right?
Yeah.
I showed it in the video, and that's the problem, that even on the stock tires, the tires that they're putting on, you can see the gap right here.
Yeah.
Right there. It's not even fitting.
Yeah, your tire only runs on the outside part of the thread. It's almost like you've got a camber on your slot cars now. They'll wear tires on the outside edge.
Yeah. So it's this is not one of their shining moments in slot car design.
But it's not only true on the pig, it's on the KTM, it's on the new BMW, it's all the new cars that Carrera is releasing right now have this issue.
Right. Yeah, that's really a shame. You know.
Did that just happen this year with these new releases?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's a shame because they can make some really nice cars. You know, like the DTM cars. Those are some of the favorites. German NASCAR, however you want to call it. They're wonderful cars, easy to tune and everything. You know, I just we certainly don't need a design like that. That didn't do that didn't help matters.
Yeah. John asks, have you ever tried a tuning fork chassis out on your track?
Oh gosh, man. That's been a long nah, not on this track. No, I haven't. I need to. I think I've done everything else. Man, I'm thinking, trying to find a little crazy design here of a chassis, but I can't find it right now. I wasn't prepared. George will tell you I'm never prepared. I don't know what I'm doing half the time.
There's a lot of stuff. Show him Dan Blankenship's jail bar, jail door chassis. That's a nice chassis.
Oh, okay.
I've met him. Real nice guy. That guy is pretty much artwork.
Yeah.
Dan Blankenship is named. Real good guy.
So
And he shoots plastic cards.
this would be Dr. Dan Blankenship. This is the kind of thing he does.
Oh wow.
Crap. That thing's beautiful.
Is that all wire?
It moves, yeah.
Yes. It's all brass.
Oh, I see what it's doing now. Yeah.
Yeah. Guide moves.
Cantilever guide.
Yeah. And the
Right.
chassis
It's got the drop arm on it. He started out with the old Professor motor / BWA, whatever, forged bracket. And then everything else he did from there.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's I've learned a lot from this, from these people. It's, everything that I video and I share. We all learn. I've just learned so much from so many people over the years that they took the time to share with me the craft, and that's what this is. It's a craft, and I can't execute it like he can. Good Lord, but I tried. But yeah, this is the kind of thing that motivates you, and you think, man, I'll never do that. But never say never. Never say never.
Does that chassis work pretty well on the track?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Does it?
It's ridiculous. Fast.
That's awesome.
Well, what's the weight on that car? That's very curious, right?
Let's
Because
see. Let me see how much it weighs. I'd say, let's get this out of the way. I love stacking up cars. Now we're having fun.
That's a good looking car.
yeah, that's a really nice car.
177 and a half.
Oh,
Okay, so it's a lot of ballast, I guess.
Right.
Right?
But again, the body is the body. Where is all the weight? It's where it's supposed to be.
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Because by itself, that chassis should be super lightweight, right? It's just the ballast that you have to put on to get the car to run properly, right?
Right, exactly. And when you talk about, and John, there he'll tell you, when you talk about, you see the reinforcement here,
Yeah.
and here, and then back to here and to here. Okay, if you take this motor out, because this is like a 16, 17K motor, the old Jaws motor.
Right.
If you were to take this motor out and put in, let's say, a Super 16D or faster retro, I mean, you're talking commercial track speeds. If you get if you wreck or whatever, you need the support, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need the strength. So these things are built for speed and strength, because you don't want to wreck in the first corner and hit the wall and the front end's all bent and your car's out. So you build these things for some thumping, man. Here's another example of his technology, to what he does. See? Matter of fact, I'm trying to copy it a little bit with mine. If you guys notice, right here,
Moves.
there is no support here.
Yeah.
This part of the chassis, it connects right here. These are the two wires, right, to go all the way back. then the pans around it, right?
Right.
Support it. And then what happens is you get flex, right?
So
Exactly.
it acts like a motor pod.
That's right.
That doesn't
So
be a hard to duplicate either.
right, and see on my latest that I'm doing now,
Yeah.
and let me show you here. On the latest chassis that I'm working on is a smaller version using that same idea. As you can see, here's my motor bracket, here's the wire, and then right here, from here to here, there's nothing. These are not soldered back here. So again, I'll have a little bit of flex, or that's the idea. I live in a fantasy world where I think I'll actually compete with Dan, which I won't. Okay, it's not going to happen. But
Dan takes a lot longer to his chassis too, though.
it's interesting that we bring this out and we look at it, and we look at designs like this, because what is that? Same thing, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Here's your body mount. There's your body, your mount, like that. And then this part is flexing. It has movable. It's moving. It's absorbing a lot of vibration. Not quite a pod, but a flexi type system. And this is independent from its body.
Yeah.
So, yeah, been
Nice.
around for a while. But again, using the steel and everything, just it provides the strength, you know. But yet, in a design like this, can give you some flexibility. So, yeah, this is built by guys with actual talent, not me.
That's funny.
Same here. That's talent. I'm not that talented.
I don't know what I am. Yeah. Bystander. Spectator. Yes, that's what I am.
Hey, you know, we all, but you know, that's like designs like this, though. What I try to do, and George has done the same thing, is we just show a basic inline chassis. It really is simple to throw one together, to measure it. You know, these little honeycomb boards, these little jewelry boards are, you know, they're under $15, and they're a really nice way to be able to pin one out and make sure it's straight and accurate, you know. And once you start doing it, like George will tell you, it's addictive. As they said, it's a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've been school today. It's been
Oh,
awesome.
yeah.
Yes, we have.
Online slot car college. Online courses. Yeah. Well, I would say it will be more like the frat party, but we'll do it. Okay. I mean,
You like Animal House?
yeah.
More like Animal House.
You know. Yeah, that's right. You know, we'll just we'll do that. But it was an honor, guys. I really appreciate it. It was a lot of fun. Appreciate you guys
This
doing
is
what you're doing.
fantastic.
I think the videos and the stuff, like we were talking earlier, the more promotion for our hobby, the better for everyone. All kinds of different slices, digital, analog, magnet, non-magnet, doesn't make any difference. Just get it out there and show people you're having fun, and you know, maybe we can groom a few more like us, you know.
100%. I mean, it's just
That's right.
this community is just gonna keep on growing, I think.
Oh yes.
And yeah,
I'm excited
we're all
about it.
here to help each other. So at
That's
least
right.
I feel very Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, anytime you guys get bored, just give me a holler.
For sure.
Like George will tell you, I don't get to leave the basement. I'm down here. So, you know,
The skunk works.
yeah, in the skunk works.
Yes, we love Harry being live with us. We will bring Harry back for sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
cool.
a great introduction to your world, and thank you so
Alright.
much for sharing it with us.
Yeah,
It was a
you're
great,
welcome.
yeah.
You guys are welcome.
Dan
Sure,
says
we'll see you
you
guys
need to make
online.
longer videos, Harry. We need all day videos, 24 hours.
I'm doing
No
them.
pressure.
We're gonna get started right away, right now. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go. I'll go have a light salad or something, right, George? And then I'm gonna get started. Okay.
Lights out.
Lights out.
The first night I got there, I got like a half a cow as a meal. Trust me, when you go there, you eat a lot of meat. It's good.
you were
You're a grill master, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
he is.
you were
Freaking grill.
exhausted from driving. You had to have something.
Yeah, that's
That's right.
You know?
Sustenance.
You know, you drive 900 miles. What am I gonna do? Give you a bowl of lettuce? No, it's not gonna happen on my watch. You know.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, like
Great stuff.
it's been an honor. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for doing this with us.
Yeah.
Marty.
Gotcha.
Hey Marty, we never talked about your week. What happened in your week so far?
Oh, it's Monday. We got a little bit of racing in last night. My brother Dusty and John Mark came over and we ran Group 5 cars, and then we tested and ran some laps with our Legends cars. I did not want to like this car, but I love driving this thing.
Hey.
So
I love
they're
my
fun.
Pioneer Legends. Awesome car.
Yeah, but no, it's been good.
Yeah. You ready for the Cincy slot racing?
On Thursday, yeah. Hopefully the car's running well enough to maybe not finish last, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, I think this was an awesome night. We're running an hour and a half now. I'm gonna probably call it here, but we have to pick a topic for next week. We have a good guest coming up next week as well. Very honored to have someone that is another legend in the industry coming on board. So once again, guys, don't forget to tune in next week for that. I wanted to say thank you to everyone in the chat that continues to support us and share your Monday evening with us. We really appreciate it. I wanted to say that. And George, Marty, thank you so much once again. Harry, thank you so much for imparting your wisdom.
Thank you guys.
And
Thanks, Harry.
guys, we'll see you next week. We'll see you
You
tomorrow
got it.
night on Marty's channel. Don't forget, 2
That's
lives
right.
on
Don't
Tuesdays.
worry about that.
And yeah, thank you so much for being part of it, guys. And we'll
Cool.
see you next week.
Take
Got
care.
it, man.
All right.
Thanks, Harry.
Take care, guys.